Hi guys. Here's another video looking at the postmodern piece. I'm going to do two videos on this. This one I was going to do myself, but within 30 minutes, one of our students had already created the postmodern piece online. So if we take a look, here's like some steps, like get out a block print, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, fix it, so on and so forth. So what could that mean? I want to show you what Jessica did. So if we look back in time, here's one of Jessica's pieces, her second independent project. So she was working with a painting and she was doing these penguin images. Okay. Another one from her was this one, drawing with peaches, and at this point she had sort of shifted over to working with Procreate on her iPad. So this was before the space project, but starting to get this sense of peaches going back in space and working with some of the brushes that they have there in the pencil. And this was her receding scale piece. So we had the oyster and shells getting smaller and this snake moving around. So what Jessica did, if I'm imagining this correctly, she started with this piece. And then she pulled up her penguins and cut out a section of that. She got rid of some of this stuff that was over in the right, kept the little penguin and the two penguins. She laid that on top of the space piece. And then she looked at this part of the peach drawing and she incorporated that as well. So let's see what she got. So when I went in and I looked, I was like, oh my Lord, look at this. She's even gone and drawn in on tops a bird from yet another one of her projects. But we can see the history going on here. We got some of the iceberg behind, just a little bit of the old penguin popping up and back there. But at this point, it sort of starts to read to me as part of this new bird that she has put on top of that. And it almost looks like there's like an egg coming out here. Now we got the old penguin here and the little baby penguin, but we got a snake coming in from the side on top of it. And of course, behind them are these shapes that allude to this peach tree that's there. Now, what I really like about this is all of the activity that's going on in here. I've got this bird, which is kind of my focal point. He's sort of balanced off by this. There's these black and white areas of strong contrast. Could things be modified, changed, balanced out a little bit? But just by layering these three images together, we've got two different kinds of greens, of blues and whites and blacks and yellows and a whole kind of range of colors that the individual pieces themselves maybe didn't have as much of. So she's taking advantage of the fact that she made slightly different color decisions, but that some of those colors are similar, like these greens up here and these greens down here being a little bit different. So now what Jessica has to do is she has to look and decide if she feels like everything's working together or if there feels like a part that dominates too much. Like when I first saw it, I was just like blown away with everything that she's done. Now I kind of look at this little guy a whole lot. I kind of have a hard time getting my eyes off of him. So what would I do to make him blend in a little more and maybe make this pop out a little bit more? Or do I want to simplify some of these shapes and make it feel like everything's kind of done with sort of the same brush? You could do that in a Photoshop document with filter galleries and things like that as well. But I think the way that she's broken up this space and the kind of colors that she's using, I think it's just wonderful. So good job, Jessica. Here, I'm going to give you a 100, but I would keep working on that. And she's feeling good about herself now. But remember, the 100 isn't the end of the story. The end of the story is when Jessica is really excited about what she has made. So, going to stop this recording and